So Crown Labels is a manufacturer of self-adhesive labels. We do printed, plain, barcoding, thermal ribbons, that sort of thing. We supply across a range of different industries. Industries from food and drink, logistics, some pharmaceutical, retail, that's mainly our core base. We had several areas where we were struggling. We weren't capturing real-time data from our presses, which was leaving big holes in machine times and estimation. We didn't have reliable stock control through the current system that we had. It was quite complicated, and we also didn't have a production scheduling system that was linked in with our current MIS system. Basically, we realised that there was probably a better piece of software or a better way of handling our business data. We weren't quite sure which direction to go in, so we contacted the Worcestershire hub. They then put us in touch with Made Smarter. They came in and worked with us to help us to make some decisions based on relevant software that would improve all of the issues that we had. We had a look at various different software options. We felt that Label Tracks was the strongest. It gave us a lot more control over capturing real-time data speeds using things like encoders that sit on the press and actually feed back real-time data, something we don't have at the moment. It integrates things like our non-conformance system, it integrates our production planning, it puts all of that under the same software umbrella as what we were using before for generating quotes and logging different job specifications. The software was on the table for a set fee. They helped us to negotiate, put us in a stronger position to negotiate that fee down, which was obviously good for all parties, and then they were able to provide a 50% funding to go towards that, which obviously made the whole idea much more palatable for us as a business at our time in our sort of business career at the minute. It worked really well for us. I think sometimes you can be in your own little bubble, focusing on your own business, and it's not always easy to reach out to anybody, even if it's somebody in your own industry, for help. I mean, everybody tends to keep to their own, they don't share information as easily. But being able to go to a group that knows manufacturing as well as Made Smarter do, and having people from other industries giving their input on it's brilliant, and I would highly recommend that anybody reaches out. The money was a bonus, because that's great, but actually the information that we got around it is probably worth it more than the money that we've had.
I started working with Crown Labels. I came out and met John and Chris. We were talking through the challenges that they face with the business, any investment that they were looking to make, and then I realised that actually they would be eligible for support through Made Smarter to help them with their systems. So I spoke to Martin and described the situation here. I brought him along to meet John, and they've worked together following that intervention. We work with all businesses in Worcestershire of all sizes, and we have a small team of people. We go out and meet businesses, we meet them at events, or they will phone us up, we'll go out, or we will know that the business is there and make contact to engage with the businesses. We are a free service, we're government and locally funded, so our job is to help businesses access all of the support, the funding, coaching, and even just general business advice that we can help owners look for in the county. For us, working with Made Smarter, for me, it's invaluable. Times are challenging for manufacturers, and being able to have the Made Smarter scheme to help them up tech, to get systems in they were looking to do, and the advice that they get as part of that, it is really invaluable to a lot of the businesses that I work with, and I really enjoy working with the Made Smarter team to help progress the businesses forward in Worcestershire.
My name's Martin Mangan. I'm a DTS for Made Smarter, covering the Worcestershire area.
I got involved with Crown Labels via Sally Stevenson at the Worcestershire Growth Hub. Got me involved as they had a particular problem. She thought we could sort them out. As such, we started working with them and we've successfully concluded a project with them. The support we gave them was really they needed to understand what kind of ERP system could be put in place for a label printing company, what options they had, and how that would grow their company. We sat there, looked at what they did, gave them advice on how to select the correct ERP system, which eventually led us to supporting them in a grant application of £20,000 to support the selection and implementation of the ERP system. We help them apply for the grant funding directly. It's not an easy job applying for grant funding, although this is better than most. So we actually work with them directly to understand what was required in the grant funding paper and how it needed to be presented.
Made Smarter West Midlands got involved with MTC and Crown Label, and they invited us in to help Crown Label decide what software they could best use to develop further in the digital environment. So what we did is we came on site and we did a line walk with the customer. We walked around their facility, understood their processes, and really got to grips with what the label company actually does. And we looked at the processes in regards to what requirements the software would need to be. Crown Labels were already looking at a product called Label Tracks, and as we were doing some due diligence, we found that it was the perfect fit for the company, being specifically made for label production companies. So when we were walking around, we identified that they had multiple systems in place, from spreadsheets and online trackers to paper-based processes. And looking at a digital roadmap was understanding how can we collate those together so it's all integrated, and then what are the next steps. So this is looking at shop floor data capture, understanding about the operating machinery times, and understanding their capacity so they can help themselves grow and decide whether they need to bring on more technology, whether it's a new machine, or release more capacity for their current equipment to save them money as well. In general, we go out to all businesses and it is around that digital roadmap. The MTC has got a large scope of works, whether it's business transformation, automation transformation, and digital transformation. So we can have a wide spread of expertise to help all these businesses with what their sort of key requirements are. And we help with a roadmap, so initially helping on a current project, but then we can scope out for where the current business can develop towards in the future as well.